What's up everyone, and welcome back to the Bold and the Beautiful 24 official channel. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button today. Let's get started. Brooke responds to Eric's warning to Nick to back off. According to the Bold and the Beautiful, Brooke Logan will respond to Taylor Hayes' warning, and Nick Marone will be advised to back off by Eric Forrester. Taylor made the decision to confront Brooke on her own after she overheard her making yet another play for Ridge Forrester. As a result, Taylor made it abundantly clear that Ridge was unavailable and insisted that nothing would stand in their way. Brooke's reaction to Taylor's outburst should be seen. Brooke won't be so sure about Taylor's prediction that her future with Ridge is secure. It seems likely Brooke will push Taylor's buttons by playing up her history with Ridge and how often they found their way back to each other. Taylor may become even more agitated after Brooke mentions that Italy can be a magical place. Eric will have a heated discussion with Nick. Eric won't want Nick to make things worse because he wants Brooke and Ridge's happy ending. Eric will probably inform Nick that his own Brooke reunion will not take place now that he has been urging Ridge to reunite with Brooke before it is too late. When it comes to the future of Brooke and Ridge, Eric will continue to believe in the power of destiny. That's why Eric will steer Nick away from his Brooke pursuit, or at least try to. Nick is not someone who listens to instructions from others, so he won't be eager to follow Eric's advice. Instead, once the trip to Italy begins, Nick will make some shocking moves to demonstrate that he is Brooke's best man. Nick intends to persuade Brooke to get married, but his next plan will be foiled by unexpected events. As bad news breaks, Nick will have to make some updates along the way. According to the Bold and the Beautiful spoilers, Brooke and Ridge are in fact the endgame. Consequently, you should keep an eye out for all the highs and lows of their reunion story. Brooke strikes back, Taylor's warning, Eric versus Nick. Eric Forrester from the Brave and the Beautiful to warn Nick Marone. Brooke Logan responds to Taylor Hayes' argument in the meantime. Continue reading to learn more about the upcoming episodes of the CBS soap opera. The warning of Taylor Hayes. Let's start with Taylor and Brooke. They are fighting over Ridge Forrester once more. Taylor continues to see Brooke pursuing Ridge despite Ridge's engagement. Due to the fact that Italy serves as the setting for many of their reunions, Taylor is also concerned about Ridge's presence there. Taylor made a proposal to Nick, but he didn't say yes yet. Depending on what Brooke tells Taylor, this could change. Nick will, in my opinion, be persuaded once more by Taylor to accept her offer. Brooke Logan's justification: Brooke was throwing herself at Ridge and begging him to reunite once again. Naturally, Taylor saw the interaction by accident. Taylor will be concerned because Ridge behaved himself and was a good boy. Brooke will act after confronting the blonde. Could Brooke strike back at Taylor, making her rival continue to worry? Or will Brooke pretend to be innocent, causing Taylor to wonder what she will do next? They could, of course, also spend some time fighting. Warning from Eric Forrester. According to the Bold and the Beautiful, Eric will issue Nick with a warning. Ridge continues to be persuaded by the patriarch to reunite with Brooke. No matter which side you are on, it shows a lot of disrespect toward Taylor. Regardless, Eric will want to make sure that Nick doesn't ruin a possible reunion of the bridge. In the following episode, the patriarch will warn Nick, but he clearly ignores that warning. The problem of Nick Marone. Additionally, Nick might have to deal with a remark from fans. Could the Forrester King take action if he ignores Eric's warning? It's possible that Eric has someone sabotage Nick's plane so that Brooke has to ride with Ridge. Jack arrives in Italy in the weekly preview clip and desperately tries to get a boat. In the meantime, Ridge and Brooke board a boat together. He will eventually find a way to get to Brooke while he is back with Nick. Let the fun begin with a poised posture and radiant smile, Nick advises. Stay tuned though, as the journey might take an unexpected turn. A sea of old rivalries and rekindled passions was illuminated by the golden light cast by the Italian sun on the Amalfi coast. Brooke Logan's thoughts were tangled like the sea breeze in her hair as she stood near the edge of the large terrace of the Forrester villa. Citrus blossoms and something heavier than tension permeated the air. Taylor Hayes stormed into her dressing room with that ever-so-righteous expression, eyes flaring with jealousy and insecurity disguised as maternal wisdom, and it had only been 24 hours. She could still hear Taylor's words ringing in her head, "Stay away from Ridge. My fiancé is him. We will not be separated by anything, not even you." However, Brooke, ever confident and defiant, did not back down from the statement. In point of fact, Brooke's belief that Ridge Forrester and Taylor's bond was not just a result of circumstance but rather of fate was only strengthened by Taylor's desperate behavior. Although Taylor may have intervened with all her moral superiority and overheard a private conversation, she was unable to accept Ridge's constant return to Brooke. Always. Despite decades of betrayals, marriages that failed, deaths, and children, they were back together. Within Italy, a location where their love had previously emerged from ashes multiple times. Brooke didn't want Taylor to make fun of her this time because she was actually feeling something. As a result, when Taylor said, "He's not available," Brooke simply smiled with her lips curled in a way that scared her rival. Taylor had responded in a cool manner, "You may have his ring right now, but I had his heart. Never have I." Taylor marveled at that woman's courage to portray herself as the victim in all of this. She quickly left, her heart racing, knowing she would need to talk to Nick. However, Brooke was by no means finished. Brooke retreated to a private salon later that afternoon, dialing up the calm confidence she had developed over the years as the Forrester estate bustled with preparations for a seaside party. She came from Logan. She never gave up. She had survived more divorces than most men had ever dated, scandal, and heartbreak. She found Taylor's outburst of rage amusing rather than frightening. And Brooke wasn't afraid to use it. As she always did, she played the Italy card. Her and Ridge's talisman was this nation. Naples. Rome. Venice. Ridge was reminded of her kisses with every view of the ocean and every cobblestone path that echoed with their footsteps. That would come to his mind from her. Of the power. Of the fact. Taylor could scream into the Tuscan breeze without Brooke's concern. She already had lost. However, as Brooke planned her graceful re-infiltration into Ridge's heart, another storm with the name Nick Marone was brewing. Everyone was aware that Nick had arrived in Italy under the guise of business. He attended to Brooke. Nick was not an exception when he got close to her and saw old flames flicker. However, Eric Forrester was the only man who was not thrilled by this development. Nick was summoned by the patriarch, who was sitting comfortably in the grand library of the villa, for a conversation that was anything but casual. "Nick," Eric said slowly and thoughtfully, "this trip is not a fishing expedition for old romances. Ridge is in the care of Brooke. Without interfering, allow her to return to him." Unperturbed and casually sipping espresso, Nick flashed one of his signature grins. "With all due respect, Eric, Brooke is a mature woman. It's fine if she wants Ridge. I will, however, be there if she even hints at doubt. Additionally, I believe you underestimate how well she recalls our time together." Eric's face became darker. "Nothing is underestimated by me. I just know that Brooke does not respond well to pressure, so if you push too hard, you will lose any chance you might have. Additionally, I will not permit you to derail something that should never have been broken in the first place." With a chill in his voice, the conversation came to an end, and Eric left shaking his head. He had already seen everything. It had been his life. However, he was now more than just an observer. He was a legacy keeper. Additionally, Bridge, not Brick, was at the center of that legacy. Nick made a few calls unperturbed. He had a bold strategy. He was about to play poker, whether Ridge and Eric were playing chess or poker. In the meantime, Taylor came back to him. "Have you given more thought to what we talked about?" she asked, looking at his face to see if he was committed. "I need to know that you won't let Brooke fall prey to the same old traps." Before responding, Nick paused. "Taylor, I didn't go to Italy to fight Ridge. I came to inform Brooke that she has choices. That she has a person who has truly seen her through the scandals and marriages. Someone who was always in love with her. If it affects your engagement, that is between Ridge and you." Taylor briefly retreated. She didn't want it, but it was exactly the kind of chaos she was afraid of. The actual fireworks had not even begun when the Italian celebration exploded into life at night with wine, violins, and waves crashing against the cliffs. Brooke entered the party in her ivory and gold attire like a queen returning to her court. The entire world held its breath for a split second as Ridge's eyes immediately spotted her. Taylor, watching from across the garden, gripped her champagne flute tighter. Then came Nick, smooth and handsome, confidently cutting through the crowd. "Wanna dance with me?" Ridge could hear him asking Brooke in a loud enough voice. She accepted after a brief period of hesitation. Ridge's jealousy flared up as they danced in the dark under the stars. From the sidelines, Eric leaned over to tell Ridge, "This is your time. Keep it from disappearing again." The night descended into a maze of fights and private mutterings. Ridge drew Brooke aside and demanded to know about Nick's activities there.